Hey lovers, I'm back. You know, I always have to start all my videos off with saying thank you for everyone that's watching my videos. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. If you enjoyed all the videos you watched so far, don't forget to subscribe. So we're going to get right into the video, okay? Today I wanted to talk about never let a man tell you more than once that he doesn't want you. And if you watch the rest of my videos, if you haven't, make sure you watch it so you understand what I'm talking about today. If you watch the rest of my videos, then you understand my story and a little bit of what I've been through as far as in relationships and when I said I haven't had a good time dating, right? But I want to say this because I have to hold myself to the highest level of accountability. And when you're in a situation, it's so hard to see it. But the moment you're out, stuff just hits you randomly at random times. I can't explain it. This hit me 5 years later. So I was literally talking to my homeboy on the phone for like 3 hours. We got off the phone. I was cool. Then it just hit me. It just came to my head because you guys remember I told you my ex had ghosted me. And I just thought he was the most terrible person and all of this stuff, right? But then I was sitting in my room by myself, and I literally started crying because a moment came to me, right? So we were one day we were at work and he tried to break up with me. Like, he gave me a letter and I went in the bathroom and read it, and he was basically saying like he doesn't want to do this anymore. I read the letter and really basically just laughed, and then I was like, I came up to him and I'm like, we're not breaking up. Like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? You know, I tried to guilt trip him. I started crying, did all this. Long story short, we didn't break up. We stayed together. But it hit me in that moment. I called my best friend boohoo crying, y'all, because it hit me in that moment that that man told me that he didn't want me. And then fast forward to when he finally ghosted me. He probably ghosted me because that one time he tried to break up with me, even though it was years in between these situations. When he tried to break up with me the first time, I made a big old scene and I told him, no, we're not breaking up. So it hit me. Like, he already told me that he didn't want me. Years later, he ghosted me and I never heard from him again till this day. But the man already told me that he didn't want me. I just wouldn't let him go. So of course he ghosted me because he probably didn't want to go through that whole dramatic me crying and screaming and yelling and telling him no and all of that. So he just left. Now, I'm not saying what he did was right, but I'm saying that he already told me that he didn't want me. So when that hit me, I felt so bad. I felt so embarrassed. I felt so ashamed because I could have saved myself so much heartache if I just would have listened the first time and heard him. Okay, so I called my best friend crying, and then I said, these are the type of signs that I cannot afford to miss moving forward. When people talk, you have to listen. When people tell you and show you things, everyone's not going to straight up say it. You have to listen. So moving forward, those are the type of signs that I can't afford to miss because I could have saved myself so much trauma and drama and tears and heartache and not gaining all this weight, all because I chose to be in my feelings versus understanding what's going on in my current situation. Even if it's not what I wanted, I rather wish that I had heard him and let him leave instead of begging him to stay and then later look at the heartbreak it caused me because he'd been wanted out. So this was just an accountability video, and it's crazy how stuff hits you at the most random times. But that hit me so hard that I literally had to stop, cry, and assess what happened because I cannot blame him. He already told me he did not want me. So do not let anybody tell you they don't want you more than once. When people show you who they are the first time, you need to believe them. And that's all I have to say. I just really had to get that out because I wouldn't be shit if I came on here and dogged him and then hold myself accountable for the messed up stuff I did in the situation. So that's all I got for today's video, but that was important. I had to get that off my chest because I'm being honest on this whole journey, and it wasn't his fault. It was my fault too. So we both played part in that whole, more my fault because I could have saved myself all that just terrible times. But again, if you have anything to contribute to this love conversation, make sure you hit me up. I can't wait to talk to you guys, and I will see you in the next video. See you later, lovers.